Hey guys, so first, exercise. I've still been very consistent, super proud of myself. Again, doing the BodyFit by Amy stuff. I just find that I can actually stick with that because it's not really that difficult. So it keeps me active, which is cool. And in terms of food, I'll actually start with coffee because I think I keep forgetting to say that I have 2 cups of coffee a day. I've been pretty consistent with that for a couple of years now. For a while I was doing 3 and I had to rein it in. Yeah, so I typically do 2 cups a day. I have my first in the morning with or like right before my breakfast, which isn't super ideal. You're supposed to have it more like in between meals, wait like an hour or so before you eat, but I don't have time for that. Although today I did have my coffee and then work out because I wasn't super hungry yet. So it probably was about an hour, but usually I have them basically at the same time. And then I'll have another cup later on in the day. And actually lately I've been having tea. I've been having black tea. I've found that I like it better than green tea. I don't know. I was just kind of like, I don't really like tea anymore. It's like, no, I just don't really like green tea anymore. And I have both with my soy milk, the original soy milk, and Splenda. And for breakfast, big surprise, oatmeal. This is just like the easiest thing. I don't know. I'm just so not into smoothies right now. Just the thought of like blended bananas, I guess. Just, man, it's not really doing it for me. So I've been doing a lot of oatmeal. Again, it's just oats, a little bit of salt, vanilla extract, peanut butter, soy milk, and sliced banana on top. Oh, and chia seeds. And as you are going to see, this is a very soy-filled day. This is a very high-protein day like I like, and I've been kind of getting away from that. Well, it's part of the reason why I gained weight, because I was just eating a lot of carby, fatty stuff, delicious stuff, like cereal, because I found out that the Malto-Meal cereal, the cheap cereal that like comes in the giant bags, they don't put vitamin D in like any of that stuff, I don't think. So I might have bought a bunch of those cheap-ass giant bags of cereal from Walmart, and I might have eaten like 2 giant bowls of cereal every day for like a month. That might have contributed to my weight gain. So yeah, definitely getting away from the protein, not eating as much as I like to eat because I just find it more satiating and I find it easier to not like overeat, right? But today is a much higher protein day thanks to soy. Obviously, I would prefer to get more variety. I would rather have other proteins, which I've tried to do. I want to eat the Beyond Meat, like sausages and even the burgers. I wanted to try those again. Can't find them anywhere. They're pea protein, for those who don't know. They're not soy-based. I mean, what is the point of living in Portland if you can't find all the good vegan shit? Like, why am I living here? This place is expensive as fuck. The traffic is atrocious. I'm mostly joking. I do like Portland, but it is a little bit frustrating. It's like, goddamn, I have Whole Foods, I have New Seasons, I have all these places and I can't find the Beyond sausage, really. Point is, I would like to get oh no. Baby's awake. Okay. Point is, I would like to get, have other sources of protein. And of course there are other, it's not just mock meats and stuff, but that's the way I prefer to get protein. I'm just not super big on beans. I'm just not. It's not as tasty. It's not as enjoyable to eat for me, which is another reason why I don't like saying that vegan is easy and like cheap, because rice and beans, because I'm not going to eat that shit. Like I'm not going to live on whole like beans and stuff. I mean, if I had to, I could, but to say that I would enjoy it, no, I would not. It's very unfair for me to say like vegan is cheap, because especially the way I'm eating right now, because I just really like, unless it's hummus, like I don't want beans. And so how are you going to get protein on a vegan diet? Like it's going to be, like protein powders, which are expensive, or mock meats and stuff, which are expensive. Even when they're on sale, they're way more expensive than dried or even canned beans. Point is, more mock meats. So later I had, this is so good. This is a beef stew that I have perfected. Didn't take that long to make it tasty, but it took a couple times to get it the way I like it. But I used the Gardein beef tips, beefless tips, whatever they are, home-style beefless tips. I use 2 bags of those, and I make this really delicious beef stew. It is so good. It's very, very simple, very easy to make. I think I said this in the carbonara video. Well, no, I was talking about just finding vegan recipes for recipes that are like super non-vegan from like non-vegan sites. But in this case, I'm just veganizing a recipe on my own. So in the case of the beef stew, I just found a recipe that looked and sounded very similar to like what my mom used to make. And instead of using beef, again, I used the Gardein. A big part for the beef stew, is cooking the Gardein first and browning it like you would beef, and then like deglazing the pan, right? So you get those nice browned bits. That makes a huge difference in terms of like the overall flavor. But then you also have to know that like gluten and soy, which is what the Gardein pieces are not going to act the same as beef. So in a beef stew, you would brown it, take it out, add the rest of the stuff, and then add the beef in to like cook further. You don't want to do that with the Gardein. It's going to like fall apart and get really, mushy and gummy and disgusting. Like you don't want to put it in until everything else is completely done, right? So you brown it, you set it aside on a plate or whatever. And then at the very end, once the soup and everything has cooked, then you put in the beef. And it's the same with like, there's a sausage and beans and rice recipe that I make that is so delicious. I use the tofurkey kielbasa. Another thing, I wanted to use the Beyond Meat sausage. I wanted to try that with it, but gosh darn it. Anyway, another thing, like, again, traditionally, like you would brown it, but then you would want to also cook it along with the beans for at least some of the time. But in this case, no, don't do that. It will fall apart, right? So you brown it, you set it aside, and you don't mix it in with the beans and everything until everything has finished cooking. I don't know where I'm going with that. I'm just saying I tend to have better luck kind of doing that stuff on my own, taking a non-vegan recipe that sounds really good, and then just a lot of times just replacing the meat part with the mock meat that I want to use. But yeah, this stew is super, super good. I also had it with some mashed potatoes and some gravy. I used a recipe, Connosaurus Veg or something like that. It's super cute. The recipe is really, really good and really, really easy. The potatoes are not great. I didn't have any almond milk or anything, so I just didn't really add any liquid. And so as you can see, they're like super crumbly. They just need a little bit of liquid and they would have been fine. They taste really good because they've got like roasted garlic in it. Next, I had another Soylent. I've really been digging on the Soylent. It's very convenient source of protein and calories and all that. And it is on sale, at least at my Kroger. They are on sale for $3 each, which is cheaper even than you can get if you buy like a case on the, Soylent website. Someone said if you do the subscribe and save on Amazon and you have like 5 subscribe and save things, then it drops the price to like $2.50 a bottle or something crazy like that. But I don't have that many subscribe and save things. I guess I need to see if I can, make that work, because that's a pretty good deal. But even $3, like, that's pretty awesome. And I think the sale lasts till like the end of October. Anyway, I also want to mention that they did update the bottles, and they are so much better. The old bottles were so dang hard to open, just impossible. Like I would have to get, a towel or something, and even still, like it would still hurt my hand. We have this like silicone funnel that's actually really great for opening jars that are super hard to open. So that helped a lot, but still, like, I don't know. I can't imagine if you have some sort of disability, arthritis or something in your hands, or an injury or something. Oh my God, that had to just be impossible to open. Whereas now the bottles are really easy to open, and I think because they've got a little foil covering that you have to take off now, like under the cap, whereas before it was just the cap. So I guess it had to be super, super tight on there, right, to protect the contents. And I think they look nicer too. They're sleeker looking. They're not all kind of rectangular. So yeah, as I said, lots of soy today. And here's even more soy. Gardein teriyaki strips, which are super good. It comes with a sauce that's nice and sugary and salty and delicious. And so what I do is I steam some broccoli and sliced red bell pepper and some sliced onion. Just steam it. And then cook the chicken, as they say on the package, takes like 5 minutes or so. Add the sauce and then add all the veggies and just stir it all up. And that's it. It doesn't take a lot of time. You can serve it over rice. You can just have it on its own if you like. I did have it with some brown rice. And then the last thing I had was some yogurt, the Silk soy yogurt. I had some strawberry. So yeah, I mean, I knew it was a lot of soy, but literally everything I ate had soy. I mean, my coffee has soy milk. The oatmeal has soy milk. The beef stew, the Gardein, has soy protein. The Soylent, obviously. Again, the Gardein chicken strips has soy, and then the yogurt obviously has soy. So it's a little bit ridiculous. I don't think it's something that any dietitian would recommend, right? You shouldn't be getting that much of your calories from like one source, especially when a lot of this is like, you know, isolated soy protein. It's not like even, I don't know, tofu or something. But if you're like me and you just don't give a shit and you just want to get protein and you just want to have food that's super duper tasty, then sometimes you eat a bunch of soy. And yeah, this was about 90 grams of protein for the day and under 2,000 calories. So not bad. That's like pretty much what I aim for. And of course I take my vitamins, multivitamin D, choline. I still do take choline every other day, although I definitely don't need it right now with all the soy I'm eating. And it's not clear that like it's really necessary. I mean, it's really not clear how much choline we need, but I do think it makes sense if you are of the age to get pregnant, because there is some evidence that it is important, like folate, in terms of like neural tube development. So it probably does make sense if you are vegan and you don't eat a lot of soy or broccoli, peanuts. I think those are the 3 like big sources of choline on a vegan diet. There really aren't that many. So it probably does make sense to supplement at least a little bit, like just to be sure. But that's just me. I'm not a dietitian. So that's just what I feel comfortable doing. Yeah, I guess that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Comments and questions down below. Subscribe. That's cool. Support the channel. Patreon.com/unnaturalvegan. And I will have a new video very soon.
It's you. It's banana. No, it's banana.